Today on Public Eye News, WNMU reports 0 positive COVID-19 cases as tests continue, and the Wisconsin DNR announces its February wolf hunt season.
Later, Brittany Henshaw will have your weather for the weekend, and Devontae Stein will be back with your sports update. Hi, I'm Ross Ray.
And I'm Megan Garcia, and this is Public Eye News. In Greenland Township, a 2-vehicle crash occurred on Valentine's Day around 12 p.m. According to the Ontonagon County Sheriff's Office, a driver from Minnesota was attempting to slow down as they prepared to make a left-hand turn off of M26 near Aspen Lane in Greenland Township. At the same time, the driver from Missouri came up from behind and wasn't able to make a stop. This driver attempted to pass the Minnesota driver on the left, but unfortunately crashed into the vehicle. Both vehicles were unable to be driven after the crash, but fortunately, no injuries were reported by either driver. For more positive news, Northern Michigan University is reporting 0 cases of COVID-19 on campus as they continue to do the routine surveillance testing. A total of 300 students and staff and faculty are randomly chosen for testing each week. On top of this routine testing efforts, most WNMU athletes are tested daily. WNMU spokesperson Derek Hall states, quote, "We're 5 weeks into the semester. We have 10 more weeks. We will be continuing the testing every week. We report all those tests. They're live on our dashboard on our website. There's a lot of testing going on campus. And to have zeros, it brings smiles to our faces, which are covered up by masks," end quote.
Bay College and the Northern Lights YMCA have entered a 50-year agreement with the Y, hoping to move to Delta County in August. Bay College is supplying the Y with the MTech Center to renovate for a whopping price of $1 per year. The Y hopes the around $5 million project will be fully completed no later than 2024, with Phase 1 renovations taking about 5 to 6 months to complete. Phase 2 of the plans will be looking to move the pool from the original YMCA over to the new location, with Bay College looking to use the old facility for sports teams. And the Marquette County Sheriff's Office has received a rather large donation to purchase and implement a drone. The Michigan Backcountry Search and Rescue made a donation of $30,000 for the drone to be used to help locate missing individuals. Marquette County Sheriff Gregory Zybert says the Mertrice 300 drone they plan on purchasing will be able to assist in search and rescue in several ways, saying, quote, "Over the years, Marquette County Search and Rescue have been enveloped in helping with large fires, floods, and of course all the time when they're out there looking for lost students," end quote. This local drone will be available for other agencies in the Upper Peninsula if they need it, as previously it took 5 to 6 hours to transport the Michigan State Police's drone to the UP.
Some of you may be familiar with the Up North Lodge in Gwen, Michigan. They were recently awarded top honors in the best outdoor dining in the Upper Peninsula. The online news site MLive held a contest where members of the public could vote for their favorite outdoor dining experience. Jesse Miller, the Up Lodge general manager, said, quote, "Staff put a lot of work into adapting outdoor dining, including setting up tents, fire pits, and heaters," end quote. On Monday, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources announced starting February 22nd through the 28th, a wolf harvest season will commence. Hunters and trappers interested in participating will have to obtain a permit or preference point by applying through their Go Wild account at gowild.wi.gov or by visiting a licensed agent beginning 12:01 a.m. Tuesday, February 16th. And will end at 11:59 p.m. February 20th. For more information on the wolf harvest or how to participate, visit the Wisconsin DNR website at dnr.wisconsin.gov. After this break, we'll be back with your national and international news.
I was raised to believe
that I control my own happiness.
That we're supposed to help each other.
That there's nothing in the world that I can't do.
I was raised to believe
that the world is a good place.
As long as I work hard and put the effort forward, I can do anything. I'm an amputee, I have one hand. My parents drive me to work hard, and as long as I put my best foot forward, I'll succeed.
Welcome back. The continued rise of Bitcoin has hit a new high today, with the cost of a single unit of the digital currency rising above $50,000 for the first time. With the volatile digital currency's growth and popularity, companies signal that Bitcoin could eventually gain widespread acceptance as a means of payment. This also caused concern from companies who believed it could be used by parties who want to avoid traditional banking systems for a myriad of reasons. However, Tesla sent a shockwave through the digital currency market, saying it was buying $1.5 billion in Bitcoin as part of a new investment strategy, and that it would soon be accepting Bitcoin in exchange for its cars. Banks such as BNY Mellon have also begun to offer digital services for the digital coinage, as its popularity continues to climb to new heights. And a cold snap has unleashed snowstorms across Europe. The Greek capital of Athens isn't used to the white stuff, but they got hit hard. CBS's Tina Cross has more from London.
Has blanketed the Acropolis and other ancient monuments in Athens. It's a picture to remember, as snow this heavy rarely falls in the Greek capital. This man says, "I haven't seen this much snow in at least a decade." The harsh weather brought public transport to a standstill and stopped COVID vaccinations as much of the country remained in lockdown. Residents still ventured out to enjoy the winter wonderland. Many kids traded online learning for some playtime. This city worker says, now we can have fun and see our friends without our masks, which we should all be wearing, but it's a nice break. Even in the snow, beaches in Athens are still busy, with people building snowmen instead of sandcastles as they revel in the unusual sight. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Mardi Gras will be looking extremely different than last year due to COVID-19 global pandemic. On Bourbon Street in New Orleans, restrictions have been put in place to reduce the number of people allowed in restaurants and bars. A local hotel guest has stated, quote, "We were experiencing a little bit lower key than normal Mardi Gras, but empty Bourbon Street was a shock. This scene is a stark contrast to what occurred last year to the day. The celebrations last February were later blamed for the massive COVID-19 outbreaks around the world." Israel is trying to vaccinate its entire adult population by the end of March. If successful, it would be the first country to do so. More than 40% of adults there have already received at least one shot. As CBS's Elizabeth Palmer reports, the country is a living lab.
Those who could danced, and those who couldn't joined from the sidelines as the Lev Ganim care home threw a vaccination party near Tel Aviv.
We are celebrating. We are going to be free.
Just 4 months ago, Israel's COVID outbreak was one of the worst in the world. Under strict lockdown, people stayed home and police set up roadblocks to stop all but essential travel. Then, in January, Israel's government struck a deal with Pfizer-BioNTech. Enough vaccine for every adult within 3 months in exchange for valuable data on how well it actually worked.
You are, in effect, a living lab for your own health officials, but also for Pfizer.
I think, yeah, we are a living lab, but I think to the world, not so much to Pfizer. I think it's really something that the world can learn from.
And the world is learning that, just as science predicted, it's working. In a study of more than 1 million people, half were vaccinated, and they were 94% less likely to get COVID, even the very elderly. And real-world evidence now shows that the second shot boosts immunity from solid to spectacular. Now even teens are getting vaccinated. Prime Minister Netanyahu is also taking some flack for paying Pfizer 1/3 more per dose than the U.S. paid. But here's the payoff. Just days ago, lockdown was eased, and Israelis are out and about, enjoying their freedom again.
I'm free. I can go anywhere. I don't have to stay home. I can see my friends, my family.
I think we can say goodbye to COVID-19 eventually.
Israel has been taking some criticism for not vaccinating the Palestinians who live on land occupied by them. The Palestinians have started to get a little bit of vaccine from various sources, including from Israel, but the fact is very few of them have so far been able to get a shot. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, London.
And don't touch that dial, because after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
One small step for man.
Yeah, there's a place for us. Yeah, there's a place for us. Where only we can go.
We as a people will get to the promised land.
Break down the walls, knock out the lights. We're gonna be just fine. Yeah, there's a place for us. Yeah, there's a place for us. As long as we together.
Hey, and welcome back. I'm your weatherman, Brady Hinshaw. Behind me on this beautiful NMU campus, it is blue skies with some good old white snow. But looking at our current conditions, we have partly cloudy skies with a temperature of 15 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 13 miles an hour, and barometric pressure of 30.16 and falling. Looking towards tonight, we have mostly clear skies with a low of 0 degrees, winds out of the west at 8 miles an hour. Looking towards tomorrow, we have mostly sunny skies with a high of 21, winds out of the southwest at 6 miles an hour. Looking at our beautiful UP, we have a mixture of weather with 15 in Sault Ste. Marie, 19 in Manistee, 21 in Escanaba. Down in Menominee is 20 degrees. And if we take a look at our western half, we have 18 in Iron Mountain, 13 in Ironwood, 14 up in Houghton, and back in beautiful Marquette, it is 15 degrees. Looking at our week ahead, we have Thursday, a high of 25 and a low of 12 in cloudy skies. Friday, a high of 23 and a low of 7 in cloudy skies. Saturday, a high of 25 and a low of 8 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. Now on to Devontae Stein with the sports.
Thanks, Brady. On Saturday, your local Marquette Redmen hockey team took down the Escanaba Eskimos 5-2. The Redmen more than doubled Eski's total shots, 34-16. Eski goaltender Dylan Zeimke had 29 saves, while the Marquette goaltender Brennan Hakola had 14 saves. Freshman forward Jackson Polteny had 3 assists in the win for the Redmen. Drew Dealey has tallied on 2 goals for the Redmen. Marquette coach Doug Garr on the win said, quote, "We're just thankful to have a chance to play. It's a short season, but it's better than no season at all. I'm just glad our seniors are finally getting a chance to have a season," end quote. This past weekend, your NMU Wildcats esports team competing in the College League of Legends tournament overcame an early loss to lead a comeback win over the 22nd ranked Kansas State University 2-1. Game 1, Kansas State used early game advantages as well as an aggressive offensive assault to control the game pretty much from beginning to end. In the second game, NMU changed up their strategy to see effective results as 2 of our Wildcats, Dylan Gaines and Austin Bergquist, set new records for NMU, with Gaines setting that champions eliminated in a single game with 17 and Bergquist setting most kill participation in a game with 37. Bergquist also recorded 30 assists in the Wildcats' second game. Game 3, the Wildcats carried all the momentum from Game 2 over and completed a clean, quick victory, winning in 20 minutes, 44 seconds. For the 3rd straight victorious series in a row, the MVP of the series went to Austin Bergquist. With the comeback win, the Wildcats remain in the playoff contention and await to see who their opponent is next week. Lastly for today, switching over to some news in the NBA last night. Star forward Draymond Green sounded off on the NBA and how they treat players who are to be traded in this post-game interview. Green pointed out, saying, quote, "When James Harden asked for a trade, he was criticized for wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. Yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy has to go sit, and if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue," end quote. Green went on to point out that teams may be public about their trading, but players must stay silent, also pointing out several different instances of players being treated unfairly in regards to trades, such as Anthony Davis being fined $50,000 for publicly demanding a trade back in 2019. Harrison Barnes was also pulled mid-game because he was traded. DeMarcus Cousins a couple years ago found out he was traded from a reporter during a post-game interview. Blake Griffin is also currently being benched by Detroit while they look for other options for their forward. We definitely have some double standards going on in the NBA.
Yeah, it's a rough time here. What's going on in the NBA right now? It's always a shame to hear the players are not having a good time there.
Yeah, sometimes the players feel as more as they're just seen as entertainment than actual human beings who have jobs and everything. But that's all the time we have for you today in Public Eye News. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you again tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.